Your expertise is not your competitive advantage anymore. It's your baseline. Everyone in your field has expertise. Some have more than you do. Some have been doing it longer. Some of it can be automated now. The gap between where you are and extraordinary impact is three invisible skills that most people don't learn. These skills transform knowledge into compounding authority and a personal brand that works 24/7. Just in the last few weeks, I've worked with a prominent doctor, a pastor, a tenured professor, a VP of a bank, the CEO of a multinational, and a financier with $1.5 billion under management. All of them exceptional. All of them have the same ceiling, not from lack of expertise, from lack of these three skills. Without them, your impact stays limited to your immediate reach, while others with half your expertise build twice your influence. With them, you become known and trusted in your field and watch your influence and legacy grow. So today, I'm walking you through all three skills at the core of the Xponential Blueprint, including one thing that 90% of experts resist, but it's exactly what separates being respected from being undeniable. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where you can go, where to start, and how fast this can move. I'm Flores, founder of Xponential. I first discovered the power of personal branding as an entertainer in Eastern Europe, where I built an audience from 0 to millions. I've since used the same principles to launch multiple business and nonprofits in the US. But here's what matters to you. The experts who learn and apply these three skills don't just grow their influence, they become the undeniable voice in their space. The first skill is internal. Most people think building a personal brand is primarily about a flashy personality, polished production, sophisticated technology, and they're wrong. At its foundation, a personal brand is built on a state of high performance that powers everything else. Without it, the best strategy falls flat, your content feels forced, your consistency, it dies. I call this state of high performance fuel. Fuel is what separates those who burn out from those who build unstoppable momentum. It's what generates endless ideas, attracts opportunities, and makes building your personal brand feel effortless instead of exhausting. Here's what most people miss. Fuel isn't simply mindset or motivation. Because the term mindset can be such a cliche and feel vague, I'll break it into three core elements, the actual building blocks of fuel. I've seen this fuel carry me from unknown artist to playing sold-out arenas, from amateur producer to million-dollar projects, from immigrant to serial entrepreneur. And I've seen it transform the people I work with, educators, executives, entrepreneurs, artists, Olympic athletes. So let's break down fuel into these three elements. Element one, your core. Our education system and work culture were built for the industrial age, where fitting into a company culture was the winning strategy. Now, you can reach anyone directly, and standing out in service to others is how you win. So ask yourself, what feels like play to you that is work for others? That thing, that specific pull is your core. It's what becomes your competitive edge. Get crystal clear on that emotional connection, because that's the first element of high fuel. Element two, your circle. Who you spend time with shapes who you are and what you believe is possible. You can't build a brand that stands out if you're surrounded by people who want to fit in, or worse, who don't believe in what you're doing. This isn't about being better than anybody. It's about surrounding yourself with people who see around corners, who support you when it's hard, who call you out when you're playing small. Your circle is critical for high fuel. Element three, your body. Your body, and your mind as part of your body, is the vessel where all creativity, vitality, and vision are born. You can optimize your strategy all you want, but if you're running on fumes, your content will feel like it. Your consistency will crack, and your creativity will just flatline. Here's what changes when you take good care of your body. Your mind sharpens, ideas flow freely. Your body deploys its natural pharmacy, fighting anxiety, fueling optimism, giving you the drive to do hard things. You can't build a brand that demands daily creativity and endurance when you're running on empty. Your core, your circle, your body, these are the elements of high fuel. High fuel positions you to answer the next critical question. What do you want to be known for? That's skill two, edge. We're living in a second renaissance. AI and global connectivity have democratized creation. Anyone can build, create, and connect at scale, which means the playing field just got infinitely more crowded. So how do you stand out? How do you become irreplaceable? That's what edge is, your clear and unique advantage in a world of infinite choices. Most people think edge means being the best, the most credentialed, the longest track record. But edge isn't about being the only one who can do what you do. It's about being the only one who does it the way you do it. Your edge lives at the intersection of your expertise, your experience, and your perspective combined in a way that nobody else can replicate. For me, immigrant to artist playing sold-out arenas, to award-winning media producer, to serial entrepreneur. Surviving hardship, moving audiences, scaling through media, helping founders build brands. Nobody else brings that combination exactly how I bring it. Your combination is different, but here's what happens when you get clear on it. You stop chasing the same opportunities as everyone else. The right people start finding you because you're the only one who does it the way you do. That's edge. And once you own it, you don't compete anymore. You become a category of one. Let me show you what that looks like. Victoria, a reading coach, realized her edge wasn't just working with kids, it was also coaching the parents who felt disempowered. That combination and a series of other events made her the official reading coach for the San Francisco Giants children's program. Your edge emerges from a pattern recognition across your life. The industries you've crossed, the failures you've survived, the insights you've gathered that nobody else has. But here's the critical part. That broad awareness is useless without focus. True edge is pairing your diverse experience with unrelenting focus on one core problem you solve better than anyone else. So ask yourself, what combination of experiences do I have that nobody else in my field has? And what's one problem I'm solving with it? I've been doing this for a while, and this is where most people get stuck. They have fuel, they have identified their edge, they know exactly what makes them unique and what problem they solve. And then they hit a wall, not between fuel and edge, but between having both of those and actually building a brand that works 24/7. I call it the incompetence gap. And until you close it, your fuel and edge stay invisible. So you have mastery in your field. You're used to competence, respect from people around you. High performance is your baseline. But there's a problem. You've lost the habit of being incompetent at something. You're not used to being a beginner anymore. It's been years, maybe decades, since you've been genuinely bad at something that matters. But that's exactly what building a brand requires. Putting yourself out there, daring greatly in areas where you don't have mastery yet, but are essential to becoming undeniable. This gap shows up in 3 areas: public speaking, social media, and writing. Before the social media and AI era, these skills were optional. Now they're required. Traditional media is dying. Social media is now mainstream media. YouTube channels, podcasts, and newsletters have bigger audiences than entire media brands. And these platforms are built to reward creators by promoting their expertise to the world. Building a brand has never been more accessible and more powerful. But 90% of experts resist this, not because it's hard, because it's uncomfortable. Public speaking, being in front of a camera, feels exposing. Social media can feel beneath you. Writing takes daily discipline. But you can now reach anyone, anywhere. And if you don't close this gap, your expertise stays invisible to the people who need it most. Here's what's at stake. Putting yourself out there, daring greatly, leaning into the discomfort of the incompetence gap. That's the difference between expertise and authority, between a resume and legacy. The experts who push through that discomfort, they become undeniable. They show up, they share, they build authority that compounds while they sleep. That's skill 3, brand. It's the bridge between what you know and who knows you. The ability to communicate your fuel and edge consistently, publicly, and at scale. When we close that incompetence gap and build our brand, our expertise stops being limited to our immediate circles. It becomes intellectual property that scales, creates multiple revenue streams, and builds lasting legacy. We become the voice future leaders listen to. If you want to build a personal brand, this is what it looks like in practice. 1 piece of thought leadership a week, 1 core topic, 1 primary platform for 1 year. Podcast, newsletter, video, pick your format based on how you think best, but commit to consistent publishing. Do this for a year and you can become the definitive voice in your space. Your brand crystallizes around your expertise and premium opportunities come your way. I recently signed another client who found me through video and reached out asking to work together. That relationship has added over $200,000 in business. All it took was a coffee, no pitch, no convincing. The trust was already there. That's what happens consistently when you master brand. Mastering brand requires a shift in who you are that most people resist. You're no longer an expert who dabbles in content. You must become a media creator as much as you are an expert. Make that shift and you become unstoppable. Some may push back with the argument that they do have reach through keynotes, conferences, influence in their circles, but media scales exponentially in ways live events never will. While you're in the room with 200 people, a single piece of content reaches 20,000 or 200,000 and keeps working while you sleep. If I've convinced you of the power of these 3 skills, fuel, edge, and brand, you have 2 paths forward. You can figure this out on your own, trial and error, years of iteration. Most experts who go it alone spend 2-3 years finding their voice and building momentum. Or you can work with us at Xponential and compress the timeline with a structured process, coaching, and being part of the Xponential community. We work with a select group of clients through an application-only process. If the second path is what you want, type apply in the comments and we'll send you the application details. Now, you have fuel, edge, and brand, but here's what nobody tells you. Having all three skills means little if you can't turn them into a thriving business. So in the next video, I'm breaking down the 7P framework, the exact system for going from passion to profitable business, how to structure your offer so they scale, how to build a value ladder that serves people at every level, and how to do it in a way that feels authentic and not transactional. I'll see you in the next video.